Hey everyone, thanks for joining us at United Way for our annual United Way campaign training. We've put together a really short video for you with lots of fun information and good content for you to use in running your United Way campaign so that we can make the most of sharing the information with your employees as well as offering you some ideas to engage as team members, both through fundraising activities and volunteerism. So let's get started. Right off the bat, you're going to see we fight for health, education, and financial stability. And you'll see photos of our team. And this is a nice slide for you to know who you're going to connect with for different purposes in our office. So you'll see my name, Jen Javis. I'm the executive director here at United Way. And I'll be coming out to do campaign presentations with you and engage in a lot of your activities. The next person you'll see on the slide is Maria Haug. She's our accountant and office manager. And she's going to be your point of contact for all of your scheduling, to collect the information that you need. Any and all questions that are campaign related can go direct to Maria, and she'll make sure that you're set up with all of the resources that you need to have a successful United Way campaign. Kendall Brickweg is next. She's our marketing and communications coordinator. You're going to see a lot of materials and toolkit items that she's prepared for you. So we'll have those available for you to support you in your efforts. And then Leah is someone that you would see if you were to engage with us through volunteerism, to come out to one of our events, or maybe we'll bring something on site and share with you about the programs that we have. She's going to be your point of contact as our impact and engagement coordinator. And then Cassie Evian is the first point of contact when you call United Way. Likely you'll hear her voice and see her face when you step through the doors at United Way here in Douglas and Polk counties. So let's dive into our theme. This year, our theme is Then, Now, and Into the Future. We're 50 this year. We're really, really excited about it. And we want to celebrate that throughout the campaign. We've been here for 50 years, since 1974. And a fun little tidbit for you is we actually were around 25 years before that as a community chest. But we're celebrating 1974 when United Way became the organization that it is today. And we've got a little bit of history for you in our brochure that will talk about where we've been and how we serve the community. We're going to focus on how we've changed over the years, the goals that we currently have. You'll see the grants that we've provided, the programs that we offer, and we're going to talk about how we'll continue to be here into the future and the ways that we'll serve our community. So all of that will be coming to you as part of your campaign presentation. We'll take a deep dive into that at the time that we present, but today I'm just going to give you a sneak preview so you can see then in 1974, things looked a little bit different. Houses looked a little different, television sets, cars, music, even our family photos might have looked a little bit different in 1974. So we're a little nostalgic there. And then we'll fast forward to 2024 and you'll see how things look a little different and how we're watching things on TV through streaming devices and maybe not so much of a television set with channels that we'd watch, how our family photos look different, and how lots of things in life might look different. But one thing that hasn't changed is that United Way is still here to support you, and families are still in need of that support. So let's talk a little bit about that. Our mission here at United Way is to change the game by connecting people, resources, and ideas to promote individual self-sufficiency. And we do that by investing in those three areas I mentioned earlier: health, education, and financial stability. And our vision is that we'll do that together, that we live united, inspiring people to make a lasting difference in the lives of all. Now, we have 5 values that are important, but we're going to emphasize on how we do that now. It's really pretty simple when you break it down. We identify people who need help, whether they seek that help from us and come directly to us, or someone refers them. And you, in your position at your business, might even be able to make those referrals or call us if you know someone who's in need of some additional support. Once we know that they need that help, we're going to point them to people who want to help. That might be another agency that provides programming. It might be a program that we offer here at United Way. And there are many, many volunteers that will engage in making sure that those programs are successful and that people get the things that they need to support themselves and their families. And none of this would be possible without you. It's not just individuals who donate, but it's the companies who offer these opportunities. As you can see, there are fun photos here of a few different businesses and organizations across both Pope and Douglas counties. And we want you to know why this is so important. People are working hard every day. We know that. You're working hard every day, and yet it can still be difficult to make ends meet. And in those times where people are struggling, whether that be from paycheck to paycheck, or maybe it's on a short-term basis, your employees want to help and your companies care. And the way that you give through United Way is local, and it stays here to support the people who live right here in Douglas and Polk counties. So ways your campaign can help, we always talk about give, advocate, and volunteer. You can give to support those people who live in our area by donating through your workplace campaign. You can make a direct donation, or you can participate in fundraising events and activities that we'll talk about in just a minute. You can advocate. It's so important that we advocate for people to be sure that resources exist for them, but that we raise awareness in our community about the challenges that people are faced with and reduce the stigma around why those challenges exist. And then finally, you can directly volunteer through United Way programs. You can share of your time and your talent to be able to make those programs possible. But we also have volunteer opportunities in the community beyond United Way that you can get connected with. So our partnership with you is really about 4 must-haves. We want to directly engage with you and your company and make sure that we are connecting with causes that you care about, the things that matter most to you and to your employees. We want you to know where your money goes so that you understand how it's making an impact in the lives of the people who live right here and how it's addressing our community's most pressing challenges. And then we want to celebrate your campaign and all the things that you've done to make it so impactful, so that we can share with you what has happened as a result of your efforts, how you've touched the lives of the people who live right here, and where your dollars have gone to serve people in our community. So let's look at some of those fun things right now and give you a quick peek. We have United Way impact programs and grants that we provide, but there are some fun photos here that give you a glimpse of them. In the upper left corner, we're doing Backpack Attack. We're in Glenwood at the Live United Luncheon, and we're packing bags of food for kids on the weekend. We have our cute traveling treehouse friends in that center photo, and then a sea of warm winter wear that is available to people who need it during those cold winter months. We've got holiday gifts in the lower left-hand corner that you can engage with us. We've got the boss of school supplies, that we ensure that all kids have access to those supplies and start the school year off with the tools that they need to be successful. And another food program. We offer food drops in both counties. So lots of ways that you can volunteer and engage with the work that we do here at United Way. And it's not just about the programs. We have groups that you can be a part of. We call them our affinity groups. There are 3. We have Students United. They're wearing the gray t-shirts in the upper left-hand corner, and you see one of our Students United reading to students in one of the elementary schools locally. And that's really pretty neat because these students are giving back as part of a program within the high school and focusing on our priorities of health, education, and financial stability. Across the remainder of the top, you see some of our Women United ladies who focus on literacy and come together for an annual event to support that cause. And then retirees who were really just kicking off. You're already engaging with us as a retiree. So as you're thinking about your company and people who work there, connect to those that are retiring with us. We want to engage them in volunteering or participating in a fundraising event such as the Golf Classic that you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner. So these are just some examples of ways that you can engage with us through programs. And then another slide gives you some examples of those events that we talked about earlier. Another golf photo in the upper left, or you can join us for a trap tournament. We've got our grillers there getting those brats ready for dinner that evening, or hop on a paddleboard and see how many lakes you can paddle through with us. Join Women United to support literacy. Enter a chili in our cook-off and come in costume, or join us at Sip and Savor and make a difference in people by providing support both in the form of our food programs as well as all of our other efforts in the community. There's lots of fun things that you can do, and we hope that you'll join us for one of these events. Now that you've got a glimpse of the things that we can do here with you at United Way, what does your campaign look like? Well, it can be whatever you want it to be, but we've highlighted 4 things that we think are really important to really kicking it off and then carrying it out. And that's to start with a United Way presentation. We'll bring in some of those fun slides about our theme and our 50th anniversary and how we've been here throughout time and how we'll be here into the future. But then you can add some more to that. You can do some fun fundraising activities within the workplace, and we'll share some ideas about that. You can volunteer with us, both as a company, as a team effort, or individually, and we'll share with you what some of those engagement opportunities look like, and you can share that with your team. And we're going to show you a short video so that you get a glimpse of what that might look like. Okay, so hopefully that got you excited about how much fun you're going to have with your campaign. Now we're going to give you the tools to do those things and more by sharing with you our campaign toolkit and resources. There's lots of text on this slide right now, but what I want you to know is that all of these things are available on our website. So when you go to our webpage at www.uwdp.org, you're going to be able to navigate getting involved on our website. And when you drop down on that tab, you'll see campaign resources. And when you click there, you're going to find all these things. You're going to find our brochure, the video you just watched, and more pledge forms that will show you some really great worksheets that we're going to walk through here just in a couple of seconds. Some fun ways to engage with your employees and games and fundraising ideas that will help you, ways that your business can sponsor events or get engaged with us throughout the year in programs, volunteering, and doing things out in the community. So we're going to walk through some of those things with you right now to give you a little taste of what's on that web page and in that toolkit. You've already seen our brochure, so we're just giving you a glimpse of that again now. You'll be able to print that if you'd like, but we will bring those in print form too when we come to your workplace and share about what United Way is doing so that all your employees can see the ways that the dollars that they give and that your company is giving are going to serve our community. Now, these are the 3 worksheets that I mentioned. There are 3 of them. We're going to walk through them one at a time. Steps to be successful, a worksheet that you'll fill out to prepare you for your campaign, and then how to wrap that up and make that ask with your employees to engage with them, both in a financial way as well as through their time. So our first worksheet then is the 11 steps for a successful campaign. The most important thing you can do is to just really get started early so that you can lay out a plan and you don't feel like you have to rush through what are you going to do. And I think you, along with your team and the rest of the employees, will have a lot more fun if they can build up to that United Way campaign. You certainly want your management and your CEO involved. It's great to have them showing up at the presentations and involved in the activities, and I think really builds the excitement with employees as well. And don't do it alone. Make sure that you have a committee to help you. There are lots of ways that you can have fun, but when you're doing that with a lot of people, many hands make light work. So do get some others involved with you in planning out how you're going to carry out your campaign. Then get people excited, build some momentum, tell them what's coming, put out date teasers and information about what they'll get to be a part of and why it's important so that when you launch your campaign, they know it's coming, they know it's happening, and they're ready to participate in the various activities that you've planned. And then as you're wrapping up, invite them to give, whether that be through their time or their dollars. And yet we also want you to know that when we're sharing about United Way programs, that it may not be possible for every employee to give. So there may be resources for employees who could benefit from them. So do know that it's both for employees to participate in programming if they have a need for some of those supports or resources, or for them to participate in giving if they're able to provide that help for someone else. And then absolutely thank them. Celebrate how successful your campaign has gone and evaluate those efforts so that you can get excited about next year. But let's not stop there. Make sure we're talking about it all year long. We want employees to know. We want them to hear about their impact and know that United Way is continuing to partner with you throughout the year, not just at that one campaign season, but all year long through newsletters and volunteer opportunities and the various events that we talked about earlier. So if you do those 11 steps, that's going to set you up to be successful. But this worksheet is going to dive into the details a little bit. You can list the people on your campaign team. So recruit those people and work with them to plan. It'll give you some space in that worksheet to write down the things that you'd like to do or the things that you think would be successful to incorporate. Set some goals. When you set goals, you're more likely to achieve them. And that could be whatever you think is going to resonate with your employees. It might be a dollar amount that you'd like to achieve. It might be that you want to surpass the previous year. Maybe it's a percent participation level of engagement with employees and how they are actively involved in the campaign. Do lots to promote it. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but put together a flyer of the events, send out digital communication to invite them to the lunchroom for the various activities that you'll plan. Which is next on the list, you'll see have some activities, whether it's something simple that you do in just a few minutes or something that you leave out for people to engage with at their leisure. And then ask for those contributions wrap up and say thanks, as we mentioned before, and you should have all of your checklists complete. When it gets to the ask, sometimes this is the part that people aren't really sure, how do I go about that? And how do we invite people to participate? And the best thing to do is to have that United Way presentation. Employees then learn about what is the cause that they're supporting and how does that serve our community directly. You can also sit down and meet face to face with employees who haven't had that presentation. Maybe it's part of your onboarding to let them know that you partner with United Way, and if they'd like to partner and contribute in some way, that they have various options to do that. This is also a great way to sit down and talk with your retirees. We mentioned Retire United before. Share with them how they can continue to be involved with United Way. Help us connect with them so that outside of the workplace campaign, they can continue to serve and be a part of giving back to our community outside of work in their retirement years. And digital communication is always great. We'll give you tools for that. We'll be sending out constant contacts. We'll give you information on upcoming opportunities. So pass that along and share that with your team. Now, here's some fun ways for us to get back into our 50th anniversary. We always try to share with you, how does a dollar make a difference? Because every single dollar makes a difference. Combined with every employee and every individual in our community who gives, we can do big things. But in honor of our 50th anniversary, we thought we'd give you some dollar statements that have to do with 50s. So consider using this in your campaign. Maybe you want to talk about how a dollar per week, which we know is approximately $50, or $2 per pay period will get you to that $50 mark, or even that one-time $50 donation. And you can share with them what that means for a family. It can support 3 families through a food drop, or 5 children through Stuff the Bus by providing them school supplies, or 8 children will receive food on the weekend. So I think this is a really great way for people to see that $50 can make a big impact for both individuals as well as families. Or maybe they want to learn a little bit about variations of 50. Maybe they're considering giving $50 per month, or pay period, or per week. We want to meet every employee where they're at the level that's meaningful to them, because as we mentioned before, just a dollar per week can make a big difference in the lives of local people. So whether it's through employment and preschool scholarships, housing and mental health services, or the wraparound services that provide an entire family with financial stability, their dollars are going to make it a big impact. And they can go above and beyond if they'd like to help us give, not just now, but into the future through our endowment. And we'll be celebrating some ways that we'll be here, not just then or now, but into the future. Here's the fun stuff that you're going to want to dive into. We have some bulleted ideas for you here, but again, go back to that campaign toolkit. We have a whole packet for you that doesn't just list what some fun fundraising campaign ideas could be, but it gives you the detail that goes along with that so that you know how to carry that out. So whether it's penny wars that you're doing with current employees, or that your company is considering making a matching gift to double the dollar of the employee who's giving. Maybe it's a PTO donation, or you want to get somebody in that dunk tank out on the lawn and see if you can dunk them in the dunk booth. There's lots of ways that you can make it exciting and fun, from going home early to doing a car wash or garage sale. Silent auctions are always a huge success. And I'll give you just a little tidbit on the silent auction. It doesn't have to be something that you've asked for another business to donate. Maybe it's something that your employees can offer. Maybe they want to offer up a pontoon ride because they have a pontoon, or maybe they have their own maple syrup and they want a silent auction off their maple syrup, or they knit. Get creative with that and have your employees share their talents to do a silent auction in the lunchroom throughout your week of your campaign. Have a jeans day if you don't get to wear them. Definitely have a chili cook-off so that you can join us for our annual chili cook-off and see if you can compete to win that traveling trophy. We're going to talk about a couple of things that I've listed specifically here, but you can go a little crazy, kiss a pig, goat, or a llama, or just keep it a little simple and have a pizza party or taco bar. This next slide will add to that pizza party or taco bar. We've got a dip jar. It's the equivalent of a tip jar, but for cards. So rather than to drop change or dollars in a jar, which you can also do if you have a pizza party or taco bar and employees can make a donation, maybe the business that you work for would be willing to purchase the lunch, and employees could donate for their meal, which would all go to the cause. But if they don't have change or cash and they don't know how they do that, you can borrow our dip jar and you can set the amount. You'll see it says $20 on there. We can set it for 5 or 10, or maybe you want to do something with 50s. We can preset that for you and we'll borrow it to you during your campaign so that you can have that readily accessible and it's easy for employees to donate to that fundraising game or activity that you've chosen. We've also got another option for you to play some bingo. So maybe you want to do this on a lunch break. We have physical cards that have United Way facts and information. We also have an online option. We can get that set up for you so that you can do one or the other or both. So maybe for your virtual employees, we can think about how we would do an online bingo for you. And it's not just the United Way facts that you'll see on the bingo card, but we can cater that to your business. We can put in some fun facts about your business and how long you've partnered with United Way, or fun tidbits about who got dunked in the dunk tank last year to see what their memory can produce and see how they'll do in their bingo game. But lots of fun ways to build that up and put that into your campaign week as well. Now, something new every year, we try to come up with a fun new idea because we know that you're doing lots of things every year and you're always looking for something fresh. It happens to be an Olympic year, so we're going with Office Olympics. We found a great website that had lots of good ideas, so I've listed those here for you, but a link will be available in our campaign toolkit as well so that you can go there and learn more about it. But as you can see, it doesn't take a lot, from rubber band archery to paper plate frisbee, basic things that you might have around the office that you could maybe schedule one Olympic event for each day of the week. Maybe employees would give $1 or $5 to participate in that event. You'd have some fun prizes to see who might win them. Some of your businesses might have ping pong tables set up or bean bags that you could bring out on the lawn, a putting green contest, or let's say you don't have a putting green. Maybe you just need some solo cups and some masking tape, a putter and a golf ball. But these are meant to be fun. They're meant to be simple, from garbage cans with crumpled paper to play bin basketball, to building the best paper airplane and seeing how far you can fly it. Be careful with the coffee relay. Make sure it's not too hot, but we know that that's an important part of every person's day. Well, I shouldn't say every person, but mine, it's definitely an important part of the day. So build off these ideas, plan your United Way campaign week, build it around Office Olympics, and have some fun with it. We're coming to the end here now. Hopefully we've given you lots of ideas for how you can engage with us in programs and events, how you can build your own events and activities within your United Way campaign. And when it comes to that making an ask, and then how do you fulfill that ask, we have two options for you for pledge forms. We have a simplified pledge form that we've been using for the last couple of years now. So it's not a real lengthy form. It's real easy for employees to fill out. We'll give you this in a half-page form. We can send it to you electronically. They need to fill out their contact information, how much they'd like to deduct from their payroll if that's the way that they choose to give, or another form of one-time donation or credit card, and then a signature at the bottom. I'm going to bounce back up to the top right corner, and to make it even simpler for your employees, you'll see that red check mark just appeared. Keep me sustainable. So if you'd like to continue your gift year over year and not have to worry about whether you filled out the form or what your form said last time, you can check that box and we'll keep you sustainable. And that way you can ensure that your gift will continue at that level until you tell us otherwise. Now, if you don't want the print form, we also have an online form that we've built for any business who'd like to use it. It's broken down into sections, as you can see on this slide, but it's very interactive. You have one link where you choose your employer so that you can go into that select option and make sure that you're choosing the business that you work for. We'll list your company there so that they can drop tab down and find it. And then the same info, contact information, the donation, and how the employee would like to give that, a confirmation with a submission verifying that they are in fact that individual who's made that contribution. We'll get a report and share that with you so that you can record all that information. And then once again, just like we mentioned before, we have that sustainable donor option. So that check mark appeared again in there too, where an employee can choose that option and then they'll be able to have that gift sustainable over time. That pretty much wraps it up. From here is where I'd offer you an opportunity to ask some questions, but given that it's a video, we're going to point you to the person who can answer them for you. Maria Haug, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be your point of contact here for campaign scheduling, and any information that you need to access or want to incorporate into your campaign. We'll get dates on the calendar, and then we'll join you for your campaign week or weeks or day, however you choose to build that. So do make note of the email address for Maria as well as the phone number here at United Way, 320-834-7800. And then we want to say thank you for making a gift, for lending a hand. We wouldn't have been here for 50 years if it wasn't for you, and we plan to be here for another 50. So thank you for celebrating with us this year. If you want to learn more, be sure that you reach out, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.